Hello, my dear students. Welcome to week 1 of English lesson on listening strategies. Listening is one of the most essential skills we use in our day-to-day communication. When done right, it enables us to completely understand matters we hear and come up with appropriate feedback when needed. Whether we listen for a specific idea or an array of more complex concepts and details, it is vital that we know how to employ ways that can help us listen effectively. Our most essential learning competency is focused on the use of listening strategies based on purpose, familiarity with the topic, and levels of difficulty of short text listened to. As you explore more about this lesson, you are expected to understand deeply how individuals comprehend what they listen to and examine listening text. Have you tried listening to at least one of the materials listed below? Check the ones which you have experienced listening to. Let us have learning task 1. Directions. Decide whether each of the following listening strategies below should be categorized as top-down or bottom-up strategies. Number 1. Taking down notes. 2. Listening for specific details. Number 3. Identifying the speaker. Number 4. Summarizing. Number 5. Drawing inferences. 6. Recognizing cognates. 7. Recognizing divisions between words. 8. Listening for the main idea. Number 9. Recognizing word order patterns. And number 10. Making predictions. Let's now move on with learning task 2. Directions. Read the given scenarios below. Examine and identify whether a top-down or bottom-up listening strategy is being shown or applied in each scenario. Number 1. Mr. Cruz, your English teacher, asked you to read some information about a certain topic. Then, he instructed you to listen to a recorded material to find out whether or not the same points are mentioned. Number 2. A friend tries to explain how you can go on a trip to Palawan for the first time. You make sure you do not miss out any important details and instructions about the trip. Number 3. In one of your classes, your teacher asks you to listen to a pre-recorded conversation and identify where the conversation took place. Number 4. Your mother gave you a call and you were asked to buy some items at the grocery store. Since you were not familiar with the items she cited, you made sure to remember specific details she mentioned. Number 5. While listening to a lecture, you saw one of your classmates taking down important notes. This classmate of yours also made a word map to connect those words and phrases that he or she listed. Let us now discuss what listening strategies are. Listening strategies are techniques which contribute directly to the comprehension and recall of a listening input. These can either be top-down or bottom-up. What is the difference between top-down and bottom-up listening strategies? Top-down listening strategies are considered listener-based strategies. In these strategies, the listener uses background knowledge of the topic, the situation or context, the type of the text, and the language to make sense of what he or she is listening to. This means that he or she already knows a fair amount of information about the topic, and he or she is able to relate a story or information into a previously established schema or prior knowledge. Examples: listening for main idea, making predictions, drawing inferences, summarizing, taking down notes. What about the bottom-up listening strategies? Bottom-up listening strategies are considered text-based strategies. When using these strategies, the listener attempts to make sense of the language sound by sound or word by word, with less use of background knowledge. The listener relies on the language and the message that creates the meaning. Here are the examples. Listening for specific details, recognizing word order patterns, sounds, and cognates. Let's analyze the following situations. While having your recess, your classmate tells you a story about his or her recent vacation, which was an exciting one. You attentively listen and give reactions at appropriate moments, perhaps to show that you can relate to what is being told. That same day, a friend calls to invite you to a celebration at his or her house the following weekend. As you have never been to his or her house before, he or she gives you directions. You listen carefully and pay attention to these specific details. Were you able to figure out the difference in the two scenarios? How you listen to the vacation story could be characterized as top-down listening, since you made use of background knowledge in understanding the meaning of the message. In contrast, when listening to directions going to a friend's place, comprehension is achieved by dividing and decoding the words and the sound signals bit by bit. This is an example of bottom-up listening. Having all the knowledge about top-down and bottom-up listening strategies, you are now ready to accomplish the following learning task. For learning task 3, listen to your favorite English song. Copy its lyrics on a sheet of paper, then answer the questions that follow. What do you think is your chosen song about? Which words or phrases help you understand the context of your chosen song? Explain your answer. How will you rate your familiarity of the context of your chosen song using a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 as the highest? Do you know of real-life scenarios or stories that you can relate to your chosen song? Cite at least one and explain how it relates to your chosen song. For your final task, directions. Examine the excerpts taken from President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's speech. As you listen, complete the table provided on the next line. The table asks you to provide specific details about some of the areas or concerns mentioned by the President. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. My countrymen, it is said that while government focuses its attention and resources to battle the coronavirus, there are those who take advantage of a preoccupied government. The dealers and purveyors of illegal drugs, hiding in the shadow of COVID-19, have stepped up their activities. The amount of shabu valued at millions of pesos seized during police operations speak volumes of the enormity and weight of the problem that we bear. The corrupt, the grafters, and the influence peddlers also take advantage of the fear and confusion that the coronavirus generates. The financial and material assistance of the government to the unemployed, the sick, and the destitute, running into billions of pesos, are not spared from corruption and ineptitude. Even the donations from well-meaning private persons are skimmed before reaching their intended beneficiaries. It is like snatching food from the mouths of babies. The profiteers, overpricers, and corrupt felons must be laughing while they snatch their dirty monies, but not for long. They cannot outrun the long arm of the law. If we allow greed, self-interest, and ambition to rule us, then, as stated by one prominent physician, we will be left with nothing better than the lesser evil instead of the greater good. The efforts and resources which we poured out produce the momentum needed to bring our country closer to our goals. Suffice it to state, we made significant strides over time. What did the President say about these topics? COVID-19 response, illegal drugs, graft, and corruption. This ends my presentation. Thank you for watching. Happy learning!